Oh, blurry backgrounds. We lust after her, but she ignores us. I've lusted after the blurry background myself. I became obsessed with it. Once I saw it, I first saw it, someone in the forest, talking to the camera and the background, trees were all blurry. I was like, holy shit, I need that in my life. But we take it too far sometimes. It can destroy our lives if we let it. And so in today's video, I just want to talk a bit about blurry backgrounds, when to use them, when not to. And some people in the vlogosphere, they be overusing it like mustard on a peanut butter sandwich. Well, not on my watch, buddy.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
I'm actually curious, can I blur out the background in Premiere Pro and have it usable? Oh my god, we're shooting at f.1. This is fantastic. It's so realistic. This is the best. I'm going to use this all the time. You just can't move because then, oh no. Oh god. Whatever. So I used to use the Sony WX350 for my videos. And just filming myself, it had no flippy screen. And often I was filming, I'd look like this. My shots would come out like that. I'm like, oh, yeah, I see that now. I see that. It drifts on you sometimes. So I upgraded to the Canon G7X because I saw slightly blurrier background, slightly more colorful face. I was like, wow, look at that. So I bought it and I enjoyed it. But I wanted more. It wasn't enough. It's like a drug. Once you get a little blurry background, you gotta blur it right out. So I researched like a mad scientist and I began discovering things. Ooh, full frame, that's the best. If you want a blurry background, you go right up to that full frame. But it's kind of pricey. It's kind of heavy. Is there any alternatives? There was an alternative, my friend, and I found it in the Mitakon 25mm f/0.95 lens. The magic. I tested the Voigtlander equivalent in a store and I was like, this is blurry as shit. I just found a life hack. 0.95 lens, that's like a 1.9 on a full frame. That's pretty much as good as you're gonna get. So I bought it. Didn't realize that the manual focusing from 10 feet away provided its own challenges in life. But we come after it. That didn't make sense. We overcame it. Shut up. So I made many blurry background videos, often blurry foreground as well, because only my nose was in focus or one of my ears. It was never like an actual good thing, but most of the shot was blurry and I thought that's what you wanted. I didn't realize for a long ass time that blurry backgrounds make you look like a loser. To me, when I see a background too blurry for its own good, I see somebody with an ego that won't let their own self-esteem be tamed by the lion within. Don't get me wrong here, I like a little background separation, especially when you're at home, you're in a boring ass background anyway, you blur it out a little bit, get some subject isolation. I like the look of it. But when people take it too far, they take it out into the world, vlogging their life. I'm watching videos of people out on the street, blurry background, shaky as shit footage because they went with the prime lens with the highest aperture and no stabilization. They're like, it's blurry though. It's blurry, it's heavy. It's blurry though. I see this so often, and I'm not gonna call out any names, but there's a lot of people using that 16-35 f2.8 lens with no stabilization in it, and then it's all blurry, but it's all shaky too. It's like, it doesn't work. And I was just watching a review the other day for this camera. It was a 12mm f1.4 lens, the Panasonic, and I'm kind of interested in that lens. For like the sit-down videos, you get your blurry background there. It's like, I still want it in my life. I'm not saying get rid of it completely. Come on, that's insanity. But I saw this review, he put it on a Panasonic G7, and that doesn't have in-body stabilization, and neither does the lens. And so he's walking there, and it's shaky. It's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. I almost threw up in my mouth, swallowed it, and went to feed an owl after, because I know that's how you feed them. And I'm telling you, it looked like I stopped watching after 40 seconds, and I went down in the comments, and someone said something about the stabilization. I'm like, what about stabilization? And the video maker himself replied, he's like, oh, with the wide angle lenses, you don't need the stabilization. I was like, you needed it. You needed it more than anybody's ever needed it in their lives. It was absolutely unwatchable, nauseating. And he was bragging about the blurry background, like completely oblivious. That's like, oh, this hot dog tastes good, but there's an alligator biting your foot. No, the hot dog's good. I just met a girl, she's so cute. She robs banks though, and she killed my grandmother just now. You just saw it. Why do you like her so much? It's just an obsession about gear and wanting to have the best quality image. I watched another guy's video, and he just got this new Canon EOS R setup, and I think he had the 16-28, and he's walking around with a heavy-ass gimbal, and he was depressed about buying it because it was so big. The thing looked like a mini helicopter, and he's carrying it around, and he was just like so sad that he bought it. Like he had the buyer's remorse, and I know that feeling all too well, the clutter. We buy these things and then we're trapped. It's like, damn it, I have this heavy-ass thing, I can't do anything in my life. I sold almost everything I had to move out to Thailand. I had a whole studio setup. I had a standing desk that cost me like $1,500. It was a lever system. You just press it and then raise it up super fast. I had the dual 27-inch monitors, a nice keyboard for my music, like a nice desktop, and the green screen with 3 softbox lights, and like I had a whole YouTube studio, and I hated it. I hated the clutter in my room. I was like, oh my God, I'm trapped. This sucks. And now I have none of it. I have this camera and the sunlight I own. I have a patent on it. So I have the sunlight coming in, that's my light, and I feel so much freer. It's like I can go anywhere with a little suitcase. All my stuff fits in there except my bike. That thing's holding me down. How do you fly with a bike? Can you do it? It sounds hard. But the point is, I feel bad for that guy who bought the heavy-ass Canon R and the gimbal. I think it was the Ronin S maybe. And it's just like, the footage didn't look that great. It was good, but it's like, let's put it side by side. I'll go outside right now, do a little side by side with my little Sony X3000. And you tell me, is there much of a difference? Are you seeing like, holy shit, I wish I was watching that guy's video. If anything, my shot is gonna be stabler, and I'm free in the mind because my camera weighs 114 grams. A little less now that the top flew off and I taped it with duct tape. I saved space. So the reality is, nobody gives a shit about your blurry background but you. You're the only one that cares about it. And like, it does help to have a little bit. Like, that's blurry enough for me. Do you really need to blur it out more? We're at 2.8 here on a Micro Four Thirds system. That's good enough. There, that's at f1.4. I'm probably no longer in focus, and that's maybe slightly blurrier. Did you give a shit? Did it make it? It made the video way better, didn't it? Oh shit. I've talked myself out of this whole thing. That's glorious. Point is just to not let the gear take over your life to where it's burdening you and you can't go live your life normally. You have just this heavy shit you're bringing with you every time. You got a giant backpack, your back pain is acting up, you got arthritis, you're taking pills, blue pills every day. That's why I kind of appreciate this system more and more. The more I have it, the Micro Four Thirds, it's just so stable and it's smaller and lighter. I don't have to think about it as much and I don't have to care as much. I imagine if I went out there into the world with the Sony a7 III 16-35 G Master lens, I'd be like nervous of getting robbed or something. And just like, I'd feel weird about it. It's like, this is too good. This is not right. It wouldn't feel as good as my little Sony. I can just whip it out anytime, film whatever I want. Nobody gets all like, oh my God, I'm on TV. It's like, no, you're on a little action cam. Calm down. So let the background into your heart. And just remember, it's all about the content. Share your life. Share your message. Don't focus so much on that blurry background. What is that back there? That's a keyboard. You knew that because it was less blurry than it needed to be. When you're at home, you want a little professional look. All right, blur out that background. Go for it. Go all out. Have your Thanksgiving video dinner. But when you're out in the world, you want to share the world. Just downgrade a little bit so it's lighter. Just nobody gives a shit about your super high quality DSLR when you're just filming other people on the street. You don't have to spend thousands of dollars. Actually, you do. Nowadays, you can't even get anything for less than 1,000 or 2,000. But you don't have to spend 5,000. And you don't need to carry this 8-pound camera with you all the time. A little action cam is going to be better for most situations. And then when you want to step your game up a little bit, don't forget about stabilization. And get a nicer look if you want it. But it's not needed. It's the personality that is going to pull them in, not the background. That will pull them out. So let me know your thoughts on blurry backgrounds down below. Do you appreciate them? Are they overused? When can you use them and when should you not? Post it down below. And that's it. Thanks for watching the video. Thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe for more videos. I'll see you in the next one. Affiliate links for blurry backgrounds in the description.